All set for our journey to Germany. Promised to be an epic road trip over to Villa's German training base. Glorious sunshine here, up bright and early with the lark at Villa Park. Has a ring to it, that. We're going via the Eurotunnel into France, over to Rotterdam, the scene of Aston Villa Football Club's finest hour just over 31 years ago. Can you believe that? We're going to relive the glory, steep ourselves in the traditions of the club, and then go over for the first pre-season fixture against SV Roddinghausen. So let's rev the engines, click through the gears, and away we go. Channel above us, the only channel you need is AVTV. Funny who you bump into on the Eurotunnel. Vern, 80 in September, I believe, and you're going to celebrate that birthday with watching the Newcastle game. And you went to the European Cup final all those years ago in Rotterdam.
Years ago, what a wonderful day that was! Absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
Yes, and all the Dutchmen with their Union Jacks as we went to the game. It was marvellous. Yes.
Yeah. What's your one abiding memory of that night? Because we're actually on our way to Rotterdam. When we touch land, we'll be driving over that.
Of course, it was Peter Wooth when he scored that goal, and it was a long half hour. Always remember that. And they said they shot in, and we blew them all out. It was wonderful. Yes.
Yeah. Paul Lambert, he's a top man, isn't he? Doing a great job.
He done a wonderful job last year. We've got some good players there, and good ones coming through. And Baker, his uncle, is 2 doors away from me.
Oh, Nathan Baker's uncle, right?
Yes.
Okay.
He's a local of ours. And in Little Whitley, where I live, we've got several Villa supporters. It's amazing how far we're stretched, really. You know.
I'm working lorry driver,
right.
AVTV driver. I'm on my way up to Belgium.
It's amazing who you bump into on these trips.
Very surprised when I pass the cars.
No, do you like the cars?
Love it. I've just been taking photos of them.
Oh, fantastic. Good man.
I'll be sending them to my mates on Facebook as we speak. Yep. Up the Villa!
The Fiat 500Ls. Excellent handling, reliable. 4 countries. We started back in Brum at Villa Park. It's taken us, 8.5 hours to travel to the Eurotunnel. France, Belgium, and now Holland. The De Kuip Stadium. Here we are in Rotterdam, Villa's finest hour. 1982, European Cup glory. Now then, shall we go and find some Dutch villains? How you doing? Good to see you. How's things? You well?
Very well indeed.
All right, hello. Well, I've not only found some rather fetching sunglasses, I've also found some Dutch villains. Here we are, looking great in the old European Cup final shirts there, proudly sported. Simon, fantastic to see you here outside Feyenoord's current stadium. What's it like being a Villa fan over here?
Jack, it's a real privilege and honour, and especially on a day like this, coming to the Feyenoord Stadium. I've been here for a few games. I've even been here for a friendly that Villa had once. It's if you like, our spiritual home in Europe, isn't it? I mean, it's the scene of our greatest game ever, undeniably. So, I'm very proud to be part of the Dutch Lions and I actually started the Dutch Lions 7 years ago, and I love it. It means a lot to me personally. It keeps me in contact with the club. You know, we have our own website. We don't have as much get-together as we'd like to, but what we do very seriously is our trips to Villa, away and at home. and for all of you passionate Villa who watch AVTV, you'll have seen our flag around. For example, at the Norwich game was the most recent one, and we had a really good vibe going there outside a pub with the Villa flag over there as you see it. So it goes with us to every game.
Yeah, there it is, the Dutch Lions, just billowing in the breeze. And you know, Ron Vlaar's obviously a guy we've got to know well. This is his former stadium, and he's a real good ambassador for the club now.
Oh, absolutely so. I mean, he's been fantastic last season at the club. We're really pleased to have him here. And it's great coming back down here. My little one here likes Feyenoord as well. And the guy's such a hero with Feyenoord fans. So whenever we come back down here, people want to talk about Ron Vlaar and how well he's doing at Villa Park. They genuinely miss him here. He was such a huge influence at the club. But, you know, he's ours now, so they have to put up with it.
So you like Feyenoord, but we're trying to persuade him to become a Villa fan. And this isn't a bad start, is it?
I like Villa.
Oh, there you go, you've won already.
We have. What's the best thing about supporting Aston Villa?
I find it good by Villa. This is the stadium that we win in the European Cup.
Yeah.
And I think Ron Vlaar is good.
Yeah.
Good
player.
Good player. And I know that.
Henrik, nice to see you. Just explain to us what you're doing here today.
Well, we're making a report on the stadium of Feyenoord. The boss of Feyenoord, he wants a new stadium. Next to this one, the old one, the Kuip is called. And there's a meeting in the town hall next Thursday, and that's about if the politicians are willing to give money to Feyenoord to finance the new stadium.
Right, so it's a big moment, isn't it, for the fans, for everyone involved with the club?
It's a big thing, but a lot of politicians, they are in doubt because they think it's too risky to put the money in a stadium, and that's why probably the new stadium will not be there in I think 5 or 10 years. So they will have to make new plans. That's what I think, but it's not for sure. It's on Thursday.
Yeah, and it's funny you should be talking about a new stadium here, because as Aston Villa people, we're used to talking about an even older stadium, of course, very close to our hearts, where the club won the European Cup back in 1982.
Yeah, and this one is also really close to the hearts of the Feyenoord fans. They really have emotion here. It's a great soccer stadium. You're really close to the field, and you can feel, you can breathe, you can hear football all over the place. And that's why a lot of fans of Feyenoord, they don't want the new stadium. They want to renovate this old one. But if that is possible, I don't know for sure. But the plan was now in the meeting of the town hall, that's about the new stadium. And it will be in front of the old Kuip. Right.
Well, as we're just yards away from the biggest goal, the most significant goal in Villa's history, we thought we'd recreate it in the second half against the mighty Bayern Munich. Take it away, the Dutch Lions.
Shaw. Williams prepared to adventure down the left. There's a good ball played in for Tony Morley. Oh, he must be! And it is! Peter Will! Villa in the lead! A brilliant breakout, and look at the embracing.
Yeah, amazing, inspirational, you know, a moment to remember and cherish in football history. Winning the European Cup again in the car park outside Feyenoord Stadium.
I thought you executed the famous miss kick pretty well there.
Yeah, you know, well, it took a bit of practice, to be honest, and I couldn't see where I was kicking for a while, but once I got the hang of it, yeah, you know, no problem.
Yeah,
you know.
should we move over to Tony Morley?
Yeah, crossing blind. I've never done that before. That was certainly a challenge for me. No, I mean, it's just fantastic. Just to be here again. I mean, I've drive past this stadium so often, and I have to admit, you know, I've been here 5 years now. I still take a second glance at this place. It's just one of those holy places for me. So just to be standing in a car park here, wearing a couple of masks and recreating probably the most famous history in Villa Park. Yeah, what can you say?
Did you enjoy that, boys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And good goal!
Yeah, it was a very good goal.
Like 31 years ago.
It was well before you were even a twinkle in the eye, young man.
For me, when I'm talking about Villa, to anyone who is interested about the Dutch Lions, about our club, it's the first thing I say. You know, we won the European Cup here in Holland, in the Kuip in Rotterdam against the Germans. It's a no-brainer, and everyone loves you from then on. You know, it's Aston Villa, what we achieved. Yeah, the best team in the world.
Yes.
You can't say better than that, can you?
You can't.
But there are certain moments in your life that define you, that you remember forever. And I'll always remember that final, because I remember sitting with my dad, and my dad bursting into tears, and watching after the end of the final, getting all emotional, walking outside my house where I was living in Birmingham, standing and seeing half of my estate standing outside in bucket of tears. Possibly the most special thing I've ever seen. And I'm a 9-year-old kid, and that moment shaped me. And then to come a few days later and stand in Victoria Square with thousands and thousands and thousands of Villa fans and watch that cup being lifted, magical moment.
Yeah, that will
absolutely.
stay with you forevermore.
Forever, until the day I die, it'll always be there.